Oh, hey there, hey! My name is Brian and welcome to my channel. This is your first time. We're all about Porsches and Pontiacs, and right now we're working on a 1967 Pontiac Firebird. Today's episode we are replacing all the tie rods and putting all the steering system back together on this classic car. And just gonna put up my new sticker that John over at Vinyl Village Garage. See that? Thanks for the sticker. Anytime someone sends me a sticker, I make sure to put it up on the old toolbox here. And that's what I was just getting ready to do before I started in on those tie rods. So let's put John's sticker right here. Awesome. It's ready to rock and roll. And if you have a sticker, there's an address down below. You can send me a sticker. I'll make sure to put it up there and give you guys a shout out. So now we need to get working on those tie rod ends for our 67 Firebird. And I need your help. Trying to think of a name for the channel, and as you see the big arrowhead there with the wrench, I'm thinking like Arrowhead Garage, Arrowhead Wrenching. I need some suggestions, so if you would take a moment, just comment down below. Let me know what the name of the channel should be. And with that, let's get into putting together some tie rods for this 67 Firebird. Let's go. All right, guys, so when we pulled off our tie rods on the 67 Firebird a couple months back, I made sure not to touch them. I just made sure I broke them off from the steering system. And one way you can tell if you need new tie rod ends, if you can move them like that, yeah, that's not good. They should be really hard to take care of. So you leave them in this direction so you can line up your new ones to be the right length and the right direction for when you go to put them back in the car. Now, it's not really perfect, so you're gonna take the car for an alignment, but you're gonna get in the ballpark, and it's all about getting into that ballpark to get you to an alignment shop to get it squared away. All right, so with that, let me grab the parts that we need, and I'll show you how to build up a new one of these. All right, let's kind of assemble our kit here. Now, I'm not sponsored by these guys, so don't worry about that. There's one. That's going to be this inner tie rod. And there should be a baggie in here with a boot, a grease boot, a castle nut, yep. Get out of here. All right, so should come with a boot that simply goes over, and you can press that down. Should come with a castle nut because it looks like a castle. And you can kind of throw that on there right now if you want. And a pin, cotter pin. Just get all this out of the way. That's the first part of this. And that's just a protective sleeve. We'll take that off. Next, it's going to be our outer tie rod. Get this opened up. Go. So once again, this one now has the boot on it, and the castle nut's already been screwed on. But there should be another little baggie. And in the baggie will be the, oh, this one has a grease fitting. So we're gonna have to install the grease fitting where this one already had it installed for us. So we gotta do that too. There's our cotter pins. And then we will get out that grease fitting. And that grease fitting should just screw in just like that. And then we'll tighten this down. Okay, let's go and take those off. Just keep those threads from getting messed up. Next thing we're going to find is this centerpiece right here from the kit. Now we're only going to do one side for the video today, but you'll obviously do this for both sides. And there's your two clamps. So you can see everything's matching up here. Cool thing is, the threads on these, it's like a turnbuckle. As you know, I used to be a professional wrestling photographer, and so a turnbuckle, basically when you turn this, you're going to tighten up them both at the same time. And the outside one, if I remember correctly, is a normal lefty loosey righty tighty. Yep, all right. So this one's reversed, I'm sorry. So it's righty, lefty, loosey, left, whatever. So you can kind of see the short one gets kind of short on this end. So a lot of threads have to go on that side. Then on this one, oh, don't forget these things. Just want to throw those on real quick. So this would be reverse. There we go, yep. Okay, so as you can see, so what you're going to try to do is put these together, drive them into, they match the direction and the length of this one. So let's do this real quick. About like that. So this end here, we need to pull in. A little bit more. Okay, you're just kind of looking for ballpark in here. Different manufacturers, different even though this is sticking out a little bit more, I'm worried about right here. You want this to be kind of centered up. So one more. So that's down and that's straight up. Kind of like that. Thinking that's about pretty good. We got enough thread on there. That's good on top. You know what? A couple more turns here. And again, this here part isn't precise. Your alignment shop is going to make it precise for you. It's about right there. So then these two here, I'm going to take them and tighten them up, and that's going to clamp them down to keep them from coming out. And I believe ours is going to be a 1/2 inch. Yep, 1/2 inch there. We'll grab 13 millimeter for this side. Go ahead and just tighten these up real quick. And you want to come back about 1/4 inch or so from the end of there. So there are your threads. Come back about right there, about 1/4 inch, and we'll tighten them up real quick here. I bet you anything, this is metric. Tell you, it's a good thing I have a Porsche in the other garage, because all this new stuff is made in China, and it has a metric thread to it, or metric heads, and yeah, you got to kind of almost have both metric and standard tools in your garage anymore. Okay, right there. Now, when it comes time to put it on the car, you may have to loosen these up in order to get these guys to move around. So same thing on this one. Give it about a 1/4 inch out. Okay, they're just snug for now, and you can line these up however you want. So now you kind of have a ballpark ability, and that's still kind of loose in there, see? So we'll turn it down more, but for right now, we're in the ballpark. So when we go to put everything in, we're gonna be pretty close to being spot on. So now, let me go ahead and do the other side, the tie rod, and we'll move to putting in that steering box. All right, guys, this is the basic steering components for a first gen Firebird or Camaro. You have your tie rod going to the passenger side, tie rod going to the driver's side spindle. You have your idler arm, which connects the top of the center link. And then the top of this center link over here is the pitman arm that curves up and hits the steering box. That's the entire steering system in a nutshell. So let's get this back in our 67 Firebird. We're going to start with the steering box, and then we'll work our way through. Let's go. All right, guys, for your idler arm, or your pitman arm, I should say, if your steering box is center, you're gonna see there's four little kind of wider grooves in there, if you can see that. So it can only go on one of 4 ways. So if you kind of know where you're at, you can just kind of slide this up and you should be good. Big lock nut washer and one. Cool. All right, now. All right, guys. So we now have the idler arm positioned straight, going towards the front of the car. The pitman arm is facing straight. Remember, you can only put that in one of 4 ways, the way it's indexed. So get it to where you centered up your steering box, like, and I'll show you in the video up here that we've done before. But basically, you turn it one way, and then turn it all the way the other way, and count how many times it rotates, and then cut it in half. So mine was like 4 1/4 turns from left to right. So I just went to 2 1/8 and kind of put it right there and hooked it up. So now we need to put in our center link. The 67 and 68 center links look like this. The 69 and newer actually have the stud in this with the boot, the tie rod kind of stud already in it, but ours is flip-flopped. So shorter end goes towards the driver, longer end goes towards passenger. Or as what's his name, Derek in Vice Grip's garage says, the captain and the drinker. So you take this and you simply just bring it down, line it up on the 2, and like that, it's in. And grab a nut, castle nut, and for right now, just get it on. There's that one, and then I'll do the other side. Here. All right, that one's there. Now next, are gonna be your tie rods. So short end goes out to the tire, and the long one goes down into the bar. And they kind of go like this. It goes up through the spindle and sideways through the center link. So take it, put it into your center link, bring it up to the bottom of your spindle, and nut them down. Take this, get it in there, and nut it down. There we go. We'll do the other side now. Now remember, you can loosen these up if you need to adjust them. So again, this is going to come up from the bottom. This is going to go into there. Put a nut on this one. Cut. Awesome nut. I hate when I lose my nuts. My wife just giggled at me. So, castle nut on. Okay, then into the center link and nut that one in. We'll torque those down, but essentially you're good to go. You can see the wheels are straight. Both drums are straight on that. Let's see how we do. All right, guys, so this part of the video, I'm gonna show you from a different angle, a vantage point. I feel like the first part of that video didn't show you. So this is where that tie rod's gonna connect to. This is that idler arm. You can see you can move it. So make sure to move it to where it's back in here, kind of pointed towards the front of the car. Then on this side over here, kind of go down. This arm right here, which has this big nut, this is your pitman arm. Now it only goes in, well, it can go in one of 4 ways. It's notched like you saw earlier. So you want it to be facing with this centered. Remember, you turned this all the way that way, and then you counted back how many times it takes to turn it back to the all the way to this side. On this box here, on this 67 Firebird, it's 4 1/4 turns from lock to lock. So dead center, which is where it is right now, is about 2 1/8. So that matched up perfectly. So with that pitman arm will only go on one of 4 ways, and you want it to go on to where it points to the front of the car. So the pitman arm is pointing straight, either arm is pointing straight. Now we can put this bar in. Remember, the short end for the 67 and 68s go towards the driver. That longer piece goes over that way. So let me put this in the tripod, and let's put this all together. All right, so this top edge of the short one goes in here. Goes there, and then the other side, then you can put this one on that side, get your bar up in there, and tighten down those nuts. Okay, now that center link is in. Take your tie rod. See right here, there's that hole. Remember, long arm goes to the inside, short arm goes out to the wheel. So you take it and just simply stick it in. Grab you a nut, nut it on. And then we'll move to the front. And here, you'll take it from underneath and bring it up into the spindle. Grab a nut. And get it down. Now, and if you need to adjust it, remember, you can adjust these turnbuckles for the length of it. But for the most part, that's the way you put in those tie rods and that center link. Give a little test with the steering wheel here. There we go. I don't want to take it too much because there's fluid in that box, but as you can see, it's working. Sweet. Okay, well, you've got the steering back in the car. The tie rods will tighten all that down. We'll tighten all this down, and we'll move on to our next project. All right, guys, so now the entire front end is put back together on our 67 Firebird. We're gonna start working on some motor issues for our next video. I'm hoping, keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully this was simple and easy. It's kind of straightforward once you kind of know directions and which way things go and how they all work together. Hope this video worked for you. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up, if you have any questions or comments about the steering setup and linkages for a early first gen F-body car, leave me a comment down below. And if you are enjoying my videos restoring this 67 Firebird, give me a subscribe and hang out and check out what more we have to do to get this bird back on the road again. So until next Friday, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you then.